The final part of our session is part 9, pivot tables in data visualizer. So this is a new feature they have introduced in DHIS to most recent version 2.34. So in older versions, so before going into the demonstration, let me show you some slides. In DHIS 2.34, pivot tables are integrated to app, but still in 2.34 also you get that separate app, but in future apps the pivot table app may be discontinued. In 2.34 they have another component of this pivot table app incorporated into Visualiser app. Still it is under development. Still not all the functions of previous pivot table app are available in data visualizer. Example, drilling down function is not available in that specific app. And all the previous functionalities and more new functions will be brought over in the future. So for the time being, rather than discussing on what are not available, let me discuss few things which are available in addition to features of the previous pivot table app. So in new pivot table app in data visualizer, so we can go through these points while doing our demonstration. So let me move to part 9 demonstration. Here I am going out from our previous table app, which we used in our entire demonstrations. Right, let me open data visualizer here. Right. Now I have opened data visualizer. In data visualizer, on the top left corner, you get this selection for chart type. While you are selecting your chart type, go to the bottom, and at the bottom you find pivot table. At the bottom you find pivot table. One very important feature is, rather than going for layout separately, now the layout itself placed on the top of the, you can see the table here. Let me just select one. Okay, here it's just a simple table. Now you have your layout just above the table, so very easily you can change your tables layout. It is very easy, right? So pivoting is much easier in this new app because they have placed the layout just above the table. So that's one feature. And another feature is they have replaced the favorite menu with this file menu. For the time being, all the options available in option menu are available with file menu, and maybe they are planning to add some more. Right. Another important improvement is option menu. In this option menu, so you can see several. So rather than the previous option menu we used, so here a tabular structure is there and lot of interface improvements are there. And in this, your data, your legend, so display legend, this supports multiple legend. This support multiple legend. Let me show you what is multiple legend. Let me show you what is multiple legend. So let me refresh this. Okay. Shall we select some data from indicators RMNCAH? So you know what is RMNCAH is reproductive, maternal, neonatal, child and adolescence health. In some country, the youth health also include in this, making it RMNCAYH. In Sri Lanka, usually we include youth health also into this, making it RMNCAYH. So this is RMNCAH in training land. So shall we get the ANC visits, first coverage and fourth coverage. Those data, then we can create the table. Sorry, I have to create the table here. All right. Now we can see the table, pivot table. So here you can apply a legend to this legend, display legend. Select a single legend and you are selecting your legend. API coverage. Right, fine. So this is the legend. Right. The thing is, so one may argue the legends you are, so let me change the period and the org unit, and let me change the period to last year, and let me change the org unit to districts. Districts in training land. Okay, I hope I have made this pivot table to show two indicators, ANC first visit coverage and ANC fourth visit coverage in all district, each district in training land. So I have used the same legend for both the indicators. So here, the obviously according to this legend, everything in ANC fourth visit is bad. Some may argue by applying same legend to all the indicators in the table may not be appropriated. So we have to agree. So for ANC first visit, you may have another legend, while for ANC fourth visits, you can have another legend where you have adjusted your range. Right. So that cannot be done in a previous table app, but visualizer we can do very easily. It use predefined legend data item. Update. So here, let me show it show it again. So earlier we applied API coverage legend to our table. So by applying this legend, now you can see NC fourth visit coverage is always shown as bad. So obviously in any country, first visit coverage is more than fourth visit coverage. So in that context, it is not much appropriate to use the same legend in both indicators. The best option would be to include, so to apply one legend to an ANC first visit coverage while applying another separate legend with changed ranges to ANC fourth visit. Earlier, that thing cannot be done in our early pivot table app, but in new pivot table app, this is possible. How we can do, go to options, legend. Instead of select a single legend for entire table, I can use predefined legend per data item. Again, to do this, you have to select a legend, first create a legend and select that legend for each data item or for indicator. So because these are indicators, I will show you going to the maintenance app. Here in the maintenance app, indicators. So ANC coverages. RMC, ANC first visit coverage. Let's examine this. Here, while creating this indicator, there's a place down here to define legend. You can omit this step. If you omit this step, so that first option will not work. So to it to work, I mean to this option to work, you have to define a legend for this specific indicator. This is same when you are creating your data element. Okay, I'm not going to save, then update. So earlier you can see everything in red. Now I'm going to change that legend to use a predefined, update. Here now the look is separate. Now the legend is more sensible because for fourth visit coverage we are using another legend. So shall we try? This is fourth visit coverage using another legend. So although HIV retention rate is not appropriate here, just to showcase, I have included that. So that is another legend. And so in this pivot table, two separate indicators use two separate legends. In this way, it is much more easy to understand and much more appropriate to present. So that is how you apply separate legend to separate data elements or indicators in new pivot table app. Okay, so all 4 points I have discussed, right? So that I have concluded part 9 demonstration. So this is the end of the presentation or the session on pivot table. So I hope you were able to learn this with me. This is not a big thing actually. Pivot table is a very the most simplest way of data analysis and most commonest way of data analysis you are using, especially when it comes to data administrators. Okay. So although I am showing you the thank you slide, it is not going to end here. One more slide. Please fill the feedback. So it is a very big help to us to have improve on our academies. So please fill the feedback taking 5 minutes. So Pramod, can we have 3 or 4 minutes for this? Okay, please fill the feedback in LMS. It is available in LMS. So after filling the feedback, we will be moving to our graded exercise, which is the most important part of the day. Okay, so you would like to give the feedback after the exercise. So, okay, that is fine. So that is a good suggestion. Okay, then shall we move to the exercises, right? So you can find the graded exercise under day 5 in LMS now. And this is a group exercise as usual. So your usual group is supposed to get together and do the exercise and submit as a group submission. So per group, you need only one submission. So all the instructions which are needed to do the exercises are given with exercises. If anything unclear, you can contact us and you can get it clarified. The submission deadline is set as 10 a.m. in Sri Lanka time tomorrow. So that is when we are starting tomorrow's session, the deadline will be achieved to submit your graded exercise in pivot table. So just to demonstrate you where is your so I think you can see my screen, and under day 5 Sri Lanka Analytic Tools is the course. Day 5 is the section. The one before last one, graded assignment pivot tables is available now. So by clicking on this, so you can see the PDF, open the PDF, and very simple. Again, today also you have to submit few screenshots. So you have part 1, part 2, part 3, and part 4. Here finally you have to submit 3 screenshots from all parts, and all the instructions are given in this assignment sheet. Okay, so I am switching off my mic, and thank you very much for being with me. Hope you all understood, and if not, please don't hesitate to contact us through chat or in Slack, or even you can drop an email. So thank you very much you all.